This is how to assemble your Limodot 5-gallon air compressor. The first thing we're going to do is attach the wheels, and we're going to do that with these bolts. And it's going to go here and also on the other side. The next step in the quick start guide is to make sure that the on-off switch is switched to off. So that is this red lever right here, and you're going to pull it towards the handle, and that is the off position. Now we're going to attach the filters and or mufflers, and I'm going to spin this around so you can see where that goes. It's on the other side. The good thing is once you have this thing all set up, you don't have to go through all these steps. So I'm just going to screw these in right here. There's one. And I don't do it too tight, just, you know, as tight as I can get it naturally. It feels like I'm not pressing too hard. Now we're going to make sure the regulator knob is completely closed, and that is this knob right here. It's right next to the on-off switch, so you're just going to turn that clockwise to make sure that that's off completely. The next step is to make sure the drain valve is closed. That you're going to find on the bottom, and that is down here. So we will turn that clockwise, and that is nice and snug, so I believe and hope that that is closed. Now we're going to attach the hose before we turn this on, and then once we switch it to on, you're going to adjust this regulator right here to adjust for how much air pressure you'd like to have going through this thing. Now I'm indoors right now. I'm only going to turn it on for a moment because even though this is quiet, I'm still anticipating it being a little bit loud, especially being in closed doors. It's a little cold here to be outside right now where I am. So we're going to attach the air hose. We're going to use the male end and attach that here at the female end by pulling this out, or sorry, pushing this in and then pulling it out. And now that is locked into place, but we also have to put an end on here, and the end I'm going to use right now for testing is the air sprayer. Because I don't have any tires to pump up right now. So we're going to turn this on, see how loud it is, and then see how it feels. All right, so I just want to point out that this is way quieter than my previous air compressor. I mean, I don't know if you can hear me right now, but I'm talking while it's filling up, and it's really not that loud at all. My old air compressor was so loud that if I turned it on outdoors, all the neighbors would get upset. This thing, though, is nice and quiet, and it's very impressive. I did just realize that I made a big mistake before. When you're closing this, you unscrew it. You don't screw it clockwise, you go counterclockwise. Otherwise, all the air just now was leaking out the back, so it's the opposite of what I thought it would be, and now the tank is actually filling up, and if you notice when I did that, it even got more quiet. While that's filling up, I forgot to put this little nub on the bottom so you don't have metal sitting on the ground, which is gonna lift this up and make it a lot more nice to use. Okay, there we go. Now that is permanently attached. And now that we have air in the tank, we can adjust how much pressure we want here. So here's an important tip that the directions did not talk about this, but I figured it out with trial and error. So this, where the hose comes out here, there is another area you can screw in here. And if you don't screw something in here, when you adjust the pressure, all the air just comes right out of this hole and nothing will come out of the hose. So what you need to do is take the second coupler, and I'm gonna screw that into there, and then that will stop the air from escaping from this hole and then send it through this hose. And I suppose you could attach two different hoses to this because it has two spots now. So let's try that, and then we'll give this a shot and see how it looks. Now I'm using the plumber's tape just to make sure we get a really tight seal. And then we are going to screw this in here. And that's as tight as I can go by hand, but I'm going to tighten it up a little bit more just to make sure it doesn't leak. Okay, so that is now pretty snug in there. And now when I release this, I still have air in this tank. If I screw this clockwise now and adjust the pressure, now I can use this and spray it, and you get your air pressure. So that's an important step. Nowhere in the directions does it say anything about that. So I just saved you some time, but this thing is amazing in the level of quietness that it provides. Makes it, this is going to be my go-to for an air compressor. So I would certainly recommend it.